Imagine standing face to face with two creatures that share a common ancestor: a chimpanzee covered in thick fur and a modern human with almost completely bare skin. Strangely, both possess nearly the same number of hair follicles, yet one species kept its natural coat while the other gradually shed it over millions of years of evolution. But amid this nearly hairless body, one remarkable exception remains: the male beard. If evolution relentlessly removes unnecessary traits, why did beards survive? And why did they become one of the defining symbols of masculinity? Here's where the mystery begins. Every morning, millions of men spend just 2 minutes shaving away an evolutionary message that nature spent millions of years crafting. To understand why men grow beards while women generally do not, we have to look beneath the skin, where millions of tiny hair follicles respond to powerful chemical signals. The human body produces two main types of hair. The first is vellus hair, the soft, nearly invisible fuzz that covers most of our skin. The second is terminal hair, which is thicker, darker, and much stronger. It forms the hair on our scalp, eyebrows, eyelashes, and, in men, the beard. Surprisingly, women possess almost the same number of facial hair follicles as men. The follicles are there. They simply remain dormant, producing only fine vellus hairs because estrogen dominates their hormonal environment. Everything changes during male puberty. As testosterone levels rise, another hormone called dihydrotestosterone, or DHT, begins transforming those tiny facial hairs into thick terminal hairs. Testosterone increases the diameter of each strand, while DHT accelerates growth and stimulates more follicles to produce coarse beard hair. Even more fascinating, the dermal papilla, the living tissue at the base of each beard follicle, is up to 4 times larger than that of scalp hair, producing whiskers that are remarkably stiff and resilient. But evolution loves paradoxes. The very same DHT that gives one man an impressive beard can also trigger male pattern baldness by gradually shrinking hair follicles on the scalp. In other words, the hormone responsible for creating one of humanity's most recognizable masculine traits is often the same force that slowly removes the hair from the top of the head. And that raises an even bigger question. If beards require so much biological investment, what evolutionary advantage made them worth keeping for millions of years? More than 150 years ago, Charles Darwin proposed a bold idea. He argued that beards did not survive because they helped men hunt, stay warm, or avoid predators. Instead, they survived because they influenced other people. In evolutionary terms, the beard was shaped by sexual selection, a trait that improved reproductive success rather than simple survival. Imagine a small tribe on the African savanna. There were no police, no courts, and often no spoken language sophisticated enough to settle disputes. Every encounter with another male carried uncertainty. Friend or rival? Ally or threat? In that world, the human face became a billboard of biological information. A thick beard visually enlarged the jawline, making the face appear wider, stronger, and more intimidating. Without throwing a single punch, a man could project maturity, dominance, and confidence. Sometimes, that visual warning alone may have prevented deadly conflicts before they ever began. Modern neuroscience suggests our brains still make these snap judgments today. Within fractions of a second, regions specialized for facial recognition evaluate age, strength, trustworthiness, and potential threat. Add a beard, and those first impressions can change almost instantly. Interestingly, research led by psychologist Barnaby Dixon found that women in many cultures often associate well-groomed, medium-length beards with maturity, resourcefulness, and a greater ability to protect a family. What about you? If you met two strangers for the first time, one clean-shaven and one with a full beard, which one would you instinctively assume looked more dominant? Let us know in the comments before we continue. Because the next theory suggests the beard wasn't just sending signals. It may have actually absorbed punches. But what if the beard wasn't only designed to send a message? What if it could actually protect the man wearing it? This idea gave rise to what scientists call the pugilism hypothesis. Researchers studying the mechanics of facial injuries have suggested that thick facial hair may have acted as a biological shock absorber during hand-to-hand combat. In experiments using simulated impacts, dense beard-like materials reduced and dispersed part of the force delivered to the jaw, the very bone most vulnerable to fractures in a fight. Think about our ancestors. Long before weapons became sophisticated, conflicts were often settled with fists, rocks, or simple clubs. A broken jaw wasn't just painful. It could be fatal. An injured hunter might struggle to eat, defend himself, or care for his family. Even a small reduction in impact could have increased the chances of survival. The benefits didn't stop there. Natural oils coating beard hair created a smoother surface that may have caused blows to glance away rather than land squarely. Thick facial hair also shielded the skin from scratches caused by thorns, branches, and rough vegetation during hunting expeditions. Then came another challenge: ice. As humans spread into colder climates, the beard formed a dense layer around the chin, throat, and neck. These areas protect the larynx and major blood vessels close to the skin. By trapping a thin layer of warm air, a beard may have reduced heat loss, helping hunters speak, breathe, and eat more comfortably in freezing conditions. So perhaps the beard wasn't simply a fashion statement from evolution. Perhaps it was both a warning and a helmet. But here's something even more surprising. Even in today's world, where few of us fight for survival on the savannah, a beard may still be protecting its owner every single day. Even though modern life has changed dramatically, the beard may still offer surprising biological advantages. Studies from the University of Southern Queensland suggest that a thick beard can block up to 95% of harmful UV radiation, helping protect the skin from premature aging and reducing the risk of skin cancer. By avoiding frequent shaving, many men also experience fewer cuts, less irritation, and a lower chance of ingrown hairs or folliculitis. A beard also traps natural skin oils, reducing moisture loss in dry or windy weather. Around the mustache, it may even catch dust and pollen before they reach the nose. So perhaps every beard is still performing the job evolution designed it to do, quietly protecting its owner every day. If beards are so useful, why do attitudes toward them differ so dramatically around the world? The answer lies in culture as much as biology. In ancient Egypt, even pharaohs who couldn't grow beards wore elaborate false ones as symbols of divine authority. Meanwhile, the Romans embraced the clean-shaven face, associating it with discipline, civilization, and military order. Genetics also plays a major role. Men of East Asian ancestry, including many Vietnamese men, typically produce less facial hair than men of European or South Asian descent. This difference is largely linked to variations in genes that influence how hair follicles respond to androgens like testosterone. For generations, many East Asian societies viewed a smooth face as the ideal of professionalism and refinement, while beards were sometimes associated with age, carelessness, or rebellion. Today, however, perceptions are changing. A neatly trimmed beard has become a symbol of confidence, individuality, and modern masculinity. Whether someone chooses to grow one or remain clean-shaven is now more a matter of personal identity than social expectation. What about you? If you could naturally grow a full beard, would you keep it? Or shave every morning? Tell us your answer in the comments, because our final chapter reveals why every shave is much more than a simple grooming routine. Every morning, millions of men spend just a few minutes shaving away a feature that evolution spent millions of years refining. Whether you prefer a clean-shaven face or a well-groomed beard, both are modern ways of expressing identity. But beneath every whisker lies a much older story, one shaped by hormones, survival, competition, and human evolution itself. The beard is more than a fashion trend. It is a living reminder of our evolutionary past, still written across the human face today. If you enjoyed this journey into human evolution, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, what other everyday human trait should we uncover next?